What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another segment of the barbecue. We're doing our Saturday prediction show for the NCAA football games this week. Last week was absolutely insane. A ton of upsets, and this week is looking to be even better than last. A lot of top 25 matchups, a lot of great ones. Should be a very interesting week. To start it off, DP, we got Michigan versus Penn State at Happy Valley. Michigan is favored by 4. Who do you got?
Yeah, the Fox Big Noon kickoff. Gonna be a whiteout. And with all this Michigan stuff going on here lately, with all the sign stealing, even though I'm gonna let everybody know a secret, every team in college football does, they steal signals, like it's a thing. But with all the media attention, I'm saying Penn State wins this game. So if you're a betting man, take Penn State +4.
Yeah, I think that there's just too much distractions right now with the whole scandal. I don't think the coaching staff's preparing as hard as they should, and I really think that they're just overlooking Penn State into that Ohio State game at the end of the year. And I think that Penn State sneaks one in. Happy Valley is a tough place to play. I don't think that Aller has a bad game like he did against Ohio State. And I'm not exactly sold on Michigan. They haven't exactly played a tough schedule. I know they've blown every team out by like 30 points, but again, they haven't played as tough as opponent as Penn State yet. So I think that it's going to be a fight, and I think that Penn State wins this game.
Nope. The Nittany Lions are coming to pounce.
Next, we got Texas Tech versus Kansas. Kansas has been super hot after that Oklahoma victory. That I wonder if that goalpost is still in Potter Lake or not. But they're favored by 4. I'm pretty sure that they're getting their starting quarterback back this week. I'm going to take Kansas the -4. They're rolling. They look good. Rock chalk, baby. They're definitely putting their staple as a football school. They're no longer a basketball school with all those allegations going on over there. I'm taking Kansas -4.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm taking Kansas to win by at least a touchdown, and I really like the way Jason Bean is playing their quarterback. I guess he's technically their backup, but he plays a lot. I think they should just stick with him. I mean, he's the one that beat Oklahoma, so.
Yeah, I mean, he's been rolling. He's got the hot hand right now. I mean, I know that I can't remember his name, but whoever the starting quarterback was, he started off super, super hot because
Like
they're
Jalen Daniels something.
yeah, Daniels, and he started off super hot this year, but just unfortunately got hurt. And this a Bean guy, he's a freshman, I believe, and he's been absolutely balling.
Big Bean, baby.
But next we got Alabama versus Kentucky. At Kentucky, Alabama's favored by 11. DP, you got?
Yeah, I think Bama definitely wins and covers, even though it's at UK. I think UK could stick with them for a little bit, but I think Bama's just gonna. They got too much firepower for UK to stay with them for 4 quarters, so I'm taking Bama to win. I'm gonna say they win by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I'm taking Bama. They're hot after that LSU win. I think Milroe finally figured it out over there, and he's been balling the last couple of weeks. And I think that they're trying to make a statement win this week and try to sneak back into that college football playoff. I'm taking them to win by at least 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Next, we got Tulsa versus Tulane. Tulane is ranked. This is going to be a very aesthetically pleasing game between the Golden Hurricanes and the Green Wave. Tulane is favored by 23.5, and I'm taking Tulane. The Golden Hurricanes have not looked good, so I'm going with the Green Wave.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, I'm calling this one the Natural Disaster Bowl. The Golden Hurricanes and the Green Wave. But I think the Wave prevails over the Hurricanes. Obviously, they're a much better team, and they'll definitely cover too. They'll win by 31.
Okay, I like that. Next, we got Arizona versus Colorado in Colorado. Arizona is favored by 10.5. DP, who you got?
Yeah, like I said earlier, don't drink the Colorado Kool-Aid. I've lost money on Colorado twice this year, so I'm taking Arizona minus 10.5.
He's still bitter about the Stanford game. I'm going with Colorado plus 10.5. I think Arizona might still win this game, but it's at home. They need to win this game to be bowl eligible. So I'm taking Colorado. Cue Dion's theme music. I think that they have a chance in this game. They might lose by like a touchdown, but I don't see them losing by more than 10 points.
Okay.
Next, we got Baylor versus Kansas State. Kansas State's favored by 21.5. It is at Kansas State. I'm taking Kansas State. Baylor hasn't looked great. They can't stop a fly on defense, and their quarterback's been absolutely amazing over there at Kansas State. So I'm taking Kansas State minus 21.5.
Yeah, I mean, Baylor's only conference win this year was a miracle comeback against UCF, and even UCF hasn't done well at all in the Big 12 this year. So I'd take Kansas State to win. I'd take them to cover. Like I said before, Kansas State, Bill Snyder Stadium is a very underrated, raucous atmosphere in college football. So I'm going with the Wildcats all day.
Absolutely. And then next we got Miami versus Florida State. Huge Florida rivalry. Florida State is favored by 14. It is at Doak Campbell Stadium. And yeah, man, it's me. I'm up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going Miami minus or plus 14. It's a big, huge rivalry. And I know Miami hasn't looked great, but you got to take in mind this is Miami's Super Bowl. If they win this game, this is gonna be the highlight of their season. So I'm taking Miami to win, or not win, but at least cover in this game. It'll be a close game. It'll be a touchdown game.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Miami will definitely cover plus 14. And it'll probably be a close game. Probably one of those games that comes down to the fourth quarter. But I think FSU wins by 7. They win by a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I love the way that Florida State's been playing, but this could be a trap game for them, honestly.
Definitely.
But next we got Utah versus Washington. It's at Washington. Washington's favored by 9. DP, who you got?
I'm going with Washington. Just, Utah started the year off good, but seeing how they lost to Oregon and them having to go into Washington and play Washington, I think they're not going to cover a 9-point spread. So I'd take Washington minus 9 in this one for sure.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, Washington was my pick to win the Big 12 and the Big 12, the Pac-12 and sneak into the college football playoff. So I'm still rolling with it. Penix Jr. has been absolutely balling, and I just don't think that Washington can keep up with the points that Washington's about to put up this week.
Mm-hmm.
But next we got Tennessee versus Missouri. In Missouri, Tennessee's favored by 2.5. I'm going with Tennessee. I think Joe Milton has been picking it up recently, and Tennessee was my pick to win the SEC this year, so I gotta still roll with them, even though it's not looking too hot for me. But Missouri is looking to put a stamp on it, the SEC this year, but I just think that Tennessee's been too hot recently for them to put that stamp like they want to on the SEC.
Okay. I'm going to make a prediction here that Missouri covers plus 2.5, but Tennessee wins.
Okay. They win.
Yeah. They win by either a point or 2 points.
All right. A missed extra point or something?
The last second field goal to win it. Something. A safety.
All right. Next, we got Oklahoma State versus UCF. Oklahoma State is favored by 2.5. It is at UCF. DPU, you got?
Yeah, UCF's just been. I like UCF, but they've been a little disappointing their first year in the Big 12. This is one of my locks of the week. Oklahoma State minus 2.5 versus UCF. I think they cover that easily and probably win by I think they win probably by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. Oklahoma State's riding that huge victory after that huge victory of Oklahoma, and I think they're just gonna keep on going. I mean, this team has a lot of confidence right now, and UCF has just not looked good in the Big 12 at all. I think they cover. This would be a lock of mine too. If I this would probably be my favorite of the week. But
Yep.
What were you saying?
I was just saying, yep, I was agreeing with you.
Yeah. Next, we got Rutgers versus Iowa. I mean, at this rate, this game's going to be 6-3. The way that Iowa has not been letting up points or scoring. Iowa is favored by 1. I'm going with Iowa -1. Their defense has been looking great. I know they can't score, but at least their defense is doing their part and keeping the game close. I think the over-under is 28.5. I think they're undefeated on the unders this year. Iowa is, so I'm taking the under as well. Iowa -1 for me.
Iowa wins this game 9-3. I'm calling it right now.
I mean, shoot, last week it was 18.5 and it was still under. So I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
9-3.
Next, we got Stanford versus Oregon State. It's at Oregon State. The spread is a -20.5. DP, who you got?
Well, Oregon State's gonna win, but Stanford, I think they'll cover that 20.5. That's a decent amount of points right there. Oregon State's solid, but I just have a feeling Stanford's gonna cover that.
Yeah, Oregon State's been quietly pretty good this year. Nobody's really saying anything. DJ Uiagalelei has been leading pretty well this year. I think they're ranked 12th. But
yeah,
I don't know. Stanford's played some close games, so I mean, I know they're showing how good, how close it is, but I mean, Stanford's been pretty close. So I'm right there with you. I think I'm going to take the Stanford plus 20.5 as well. I think this might be only a 14-point game or 10-point game.
let's go.
Next, we got West Virginia versus Oklahoma. It's at Oklahoma. The spread is 11.5. I'm taking Oklahoma -11.5 after a disappointing loss. I think they're going to try to come out and just beat the absolute brakes off of West Virginia. I think they're going to try to beat them by 60.
Yeah, I could see. I don't know why I have a feeling this game could just get a little out of hand. Maybe OU wins by 30 or 40, and maybe West Virginia finally gives Neil Brown the old boot like the fans have been waiting for. So I'm definitely rolling with OU on that one.
Next, we got Michigan State versus Ohio State. Kind of a rivalry, kind of not. But Ohio State's favored by 31.5. DP, you got?
Yeah, I think Michigan State just hasn't been good at all this year. So I think Ohio State, I think they could definitely cover that.
Yeah, this is exactly what I was talking about with Michigan, because that Mel Tucker scandal really ruined their season.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm taking Ohio State to cover this. Michigan State has not looked good all year.
Yep. OH.
And unfortunately, I mean, in a normal year, I would be yeah, Michigan State covers that all day. But like I said, that Mel Tucker scandal really ruined them. I don't think this season's just a wash for them.
Yeah.
Next, we got Texas versus TCU at TCU. Texas is favored by 12. Quinn Ewers is back this week. Yeah, I'm going Texas -12. Quinn Ewers being back. I think that they're gonna beat them by like 17.
Yeah. Texas wins. Texas covers. End the story.
Next, we got Florida versus LSU. LSU is favored by 15. It is at LSU. DP, who you got?
And Death Valley, I think LSU wins and they cover. I just don't. Florida's offense sucks.
Yeah, but this is a rivalry game. It's kind of like the same thing with Miami and Florida State. I think it's going to be closer than people think. I'm taking the Florida plus 15. I think LSU still wins, but I think this is going to come down to a field goal, honestly.
Okay.
Next, we got Duke versus North Carolina. It's at North Carolina. North Carolina favored by 13.5. No Riley Leonard, which is unfortunate because this game would be a lot better if he was playing. So I'm going to say North Carolina is going to cover. They're going to win by like 21 because Duke cannot score the ball without Riley Leonard.
Yeah. They're calling this one the basketball bowl, or at least that's what I'm calling it. But yeah, I think Drake May is going to go out there and have a day, throw for over 400 yards, and UNC will win by 21 points.
Yeah, I can see that. Next, we got USC versus Oregon. It is at Oregon. Oregon's favored by 15.5. DP, who you got?
USC's defense hasn't showed up all year, so I don't think it'll be any different. I'll take Oregon minus 15.5, especially Oregon's at home too. So
I'm taking USC plus 15.5. They've 20 losses, but they've kept up. They've kept up with everybody. So I don't see losing by more than touchdowns. I mean they're gonna go in there and score the ball.
They'll definitely score some points, but so will Oregon. And I don't know if he's
15.5. That's like 3 possessions.
Yeah.
So I think Oregon still wins this game, but I think it'll be, maybe a 10-point game. I don't think that it'll be like a 17-point game. I don't know. I just feel like that Caleb Williams is much of a star not to keep this game close.
Okay. Fair.
And then should we go to the game of the week or should we go to the FAU and Duquesne games first?
We'll do game of the week.
All right, so we got the game of the week now. We got Ole Miss versus Georgia. I still think that the Michigan-Penn State game should be the game of the week over this, but Georgia favored by 11. It is at Between the Hedges. I'm gonna go with Georgia. I think that Georgia has been rolling. They're getting Brock Bowers back this week, is from what I heard, and I think they win by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think Georgia wins. I think they'll cover. I'd say they win by 13 points.
Yeah, and Ole Miss has looked good. It's just like they're a whole different animal at home. So I'm gonna take them to definitely cover Georgia.
Yeah, final score is gonna be like 34-21.
And I love what the Lane Train's done over there this year. He's been definitely putting Ole Miss on the map over here in SEC, but not gonna be enough. But next we got our FAU Owls. They're favored by 7 against East Carolina. DP, who you got?
Well, hold up. Key detail here. Kodak Black is the host of the FAU game tomorrow. He's got a pregame performance. He's running out of the tunnel with the team. I mean, you got to hammer the Owls, right, on Kodak Day?
Absolutely.
Come on now.
Absolutely. You got it. It's a lock. Eastern Carolina's I think 1-8 or something, or 1-7 anyway. They're terrible. I'm going FAU -7 for sure.
We never had that game day when I was there.
I know, right? That's BS.
Boo.
And then next we got Stonehill versus Duquesne. There was no spread on this game, so we're gonna make our own spread. I'm gonna say Duquesne wins by 30.
30, okay. Key note here that if Duquesne wins, they clinch their spot for the FCS playoffs, and they win the Eastern Conference. So I'm gonna say, and it's senior night for the Dukes. So I'm gonna say, the Dukes win this one by 21 points.
Yeah, Stonehill, it's their first year in the NEC this year. Their record's not too great, I believe. I think Duquesne won and they clinched their spot in the playoffs.
Yeah, they were a Division II team last year. It's their first year in the FCS, which they haven't done bad considering last year they were in Division II.
Yeah, so
they finished ahead of some of the teams that have, been in the NEC for a while now. So not a bad first year.
Well, I mean, hey, it's like Jacksonville State and James Madison this year, their first year, and they're killing it.
Yeah, exactly. So. But I think that's about this week.
Let us know what you think about our picks. Make sure you follow us on our college football pick'em to see how you do versus me and DP and the ESPN. It's at the barbecue 561 if you want to join. And yeah, we got more content coming to you this week. Yeah. How's up?
Woo! Kodak.